Previously on the Beam Chronicles.
We probably shouldn't even be married anymore, right?
I spent the night with her. We made love with all the passionate release of 2 years' worth of longing compressed into that one night.
I am the president. You cannot...
You really did lose your power.
Yes, it is gone. I swear it. It's gone.
Phil had confirmed shortly after her death that her brain fell to pieces. Sleepwalking's bad enough. Sleep flying is a downright dangerous concept.
There's one victory, one thing in the whole universe that I care about. It's you. You are my victory, you goddamn moron. But it's not exactly my fault that somebody blindsidedly eclipsed my entire list of priorities.
Charlie. My Charlie. It is all right. Do you not see it? I have found a new one. I have found my new everything.
These are the Beam Chronicles, with your host, MJ Dooney. Book 3, Cataclysm. Chapter 5, Jaxon Teaque.
"2 years deprived of each other, and we were right back to desperately in love again. It wasn't like they were a boring 2 years either, not on my end, although I couldn't speak for her, yet somehow when we talked that night, while we made love and cuddled and reminisced with each other, it was like we hadn't missed a beat. 2 years apart didn't change a damn thing about how I felt, right back into it directly, as thick and inescapable as it was when how we shredded it apart. So in love I couldn't even help myself. When I finally woke up the next morning, she was laying there beside me, staring at me, her gorgeous radiance all I could see, her breathtaking eyes perfectly aligned with mine. Oh, hey.
Hi, JT.
Watching me sleep?
Nah, just watching you.
She propped herself up on her hand and I matched her so she'd continue to eclipse my vision. I didn't want to look at anything but her.
The sleep was irrelevant. You happened to be sleeping, but I'm gonna keep going now that you're awake.
I've had this dream, you know.
Which dream?
Oh, all of it. Everything we did last night, sitting here, looking at your beautiful face. She rolled her eyes, never particularly receptive of compliments, especially those of an aesthetic nature, but whatever. I just keep waiting for the part where I open my eyes for real, wake up hungover in the arena or on the roof, and you're still dead and I'm still hollow.
Probably not gonna happen.
How come?
Because I'm pretty sure this is real life.
I rolled over onto my back, stretched my arms above my head. That's exactly what dream you would say. She crawled on top of me, stomach to stomach, folding her arms across my chest and resting her chin on top.
So the thing is, I wasn't done watching you yet.
I kissed her, then scratched my right eye a bit. That was easily the best I've slept in 2 years.
Well, what about all the times you were dead?
Oh, right, good point. That was the best non-eternal sleep I've had in 2 years. What time is it anyway?
5?
5 p.m.?
Yes. Did you forget what we were doing at 5 a.m.?
She raised her eyebrows, suggestively reminding me. It was a good memory. Jesus Christ, I completely missed work today.
So what? Quit.
Can't. I mean, not yet. Eventually, soon. I have, loose ends to tie up.
Fuck 'em.
She shrugged, kept staring at me. It felt unclean to say it, to try leaving this paradise, but somehow I managed to stammer through. Seriously though, love, I'm kind of the boss now. I should really check in at least.
Fine.
She exasperatedly rolled off of me.
Let's go in now, together. I want to see what you've done with my old apartment anyway, the depressing, desperate shrine you've constructed.
And she climbed out of bed, started getting dressed.
Hey, did you really end up on the roof once?
Not once, tons of times. Usually I woke up in the brain chamber down in the oubliette, but yeah. Sleepwalking plus telekinesis meant I got around the building pretty well. I hopped out of bed too, bent over to fetch my jeans, casually noticed in my peripherals her watching me again. I smirked, moving a little slower, more deliberately than I typically would, to give her more elaborate show. The best one, or I guess maybe the worst, depending on who you ask, was the day I woke up in Foon's dungeon cell. I recalled buckling my belt.
In it?
Yeah. So if you think about it, I totally opened the door to get inside, but Tyler didn't try to escape. He even let me sleep in his bed. He slept on the floor. Didn't know what else to do. We hadn't even spoken in a few months at that point. When Sydney eventually found me, he was so pissed off.
Oh, man.
She replied, eyes lighting up as she pulled her shirt over her head.
I can't believe for half a second I forgot how bad I want to see Sydney.
I took in her eager smile for a moment, worried anything I said might alter it slightly, ruin its subtle perfection.
You think when he sees me, he'll give me one of those, head palming hugs?
A what?
You know when he hugs you and he, palms your head?
No. Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about.
Ha!
She grouped over the bed to me and put her hands on my shoulder.
All right, first of all, I'm way shorter than Sydney, so get down on your knees.
She pressed me down, essentially eye level with her, chest. I did not object.
Now he puts one arm around you like this.
She wrapped her right arm around me, pulling me in close so that my face was buried in her chest.
And then with the other hand, he palms the back of your head, you know?
She did it, and I glanced up at her, smiling wryly but not saying a word. My cheeks pressed tight against her boobs.
Oh, wait, shit.
She threw her head back to cackle when she realized where she'd been jamming my face for several seconds.
Right, sorry. I forgot I have tits. Sydney doesn't have tits. You just gotta imagine me without them.
Do I really have to?
You're supposed to be pretending I'm Sydney.
I tipped my head down, wiggled it back and forth, nuzzling my face in between her breasts and spoke in a muffled but blissful daze. If Sydney had these, I wouldn't have even missed you.
That's a little gay, dude.
She mimicked my tone, stroking my hair. I didn't raise my face, still snuggled in her chest as I reached my hands up behind her and firmly grasped either ass cheek. Wait, I forgot about this. I want this too.
Yes, lovely. Reduced to my ass and tits, every girl's dream.
Bah, you're right. I stood up, wrapping her in my arms and spinning so that I fell onto the bed on my back, her on top of me, laughing while I kissed her neck. I want all of it. Help me, Charlie. I'm powerless. She fondly beamed at me, her locks draping around my head so that all I could see was her beautiful face. Then she brushed my bangs aside, kissed me on my scarred eye, then kissed me on the mouth, cooing when she pulled back.
Maybe we got dressed a little prematurely.
Yeah, probably, I ruefully informed her as I started pulling off her pants again. I almost said something.
Oh, I wish you would've. Think of all the time we've already wasted.
I don't know exactly how many times we'd had sex in a little more than a day, but it wasn't even until after we'd finished this round that I remembered I was married to someone else. It was so easy to forget Maria when I was with Charlie, and so hard to do the opposite. The lying, adulterous boss of Genocide Incorporated. This was the person I'd become, the man the devil made me into, and yet I was sincerely content for the first time in ages. In a way, being with Charlie that night felt like the times I relapsed with booze, with the crippling guilt just narrowly trumped by the overwhelming relief. But no, that was backwards. Being with Charlie was never like drinking. Drinking was like being with Charlie, and only barely, poorly held up to it. Hell, I started drinking half to simulate what I missed with her. The way the world didn't matter, the way it shrunk to the size of our bed and then the size of our bodies, the sweet, careless release from all of the pain and misery constantly bombarding us from all sides. The key difference was when I got drunk, it was all about the numbness. I was too disconnected, too wasted to concern myself with any of it. So I attained my escape through apathy. But when I was with Charlie, it was the opposite. I cared so much. My soul was so ablaze. It made all of the bad worth it. Surely, I couldn't be too heavily blamed for succumbing to that level of life-saving passion, especially when I had every intention of being perfectly upfront and honest with Maria, breaking her heart the very next time I saw her. Though maybe I should have done that before I slept with Charlie. No, No, I definitely should have. I didn't think, but there was very little thinking involved with anything I did last night. And now that the heavy, fervent part was over and my head leveled out to some sense of rational balance, I felt absolutely horrendous for Maria's place in all of this. But still, I just couldn't feel bad about being with Charlie. Or at least not. I mean, okay, maybe a little. Shit. I don't know.
By the way,
Charlie said out of the blue after we finished getting dressed once again, distracting me from all my Maria turmoil.
now that you own Beam or whatever, you think you could store my brain for me?
Huh? You actually know where your brain is? It wasn't until she brought it up that I remembered the empty tank sitting in the oubliette, the one Phil tested after her death to confirm she was really gone. Obviously, Howie managed to whip up a fake one that had the right amount of Charlie DNA in it to make Phil think it was genuine, probably a Konforsky construction, but whatever, that wasn't the interesting part. The interesting part was whatever happened to the real one.
Yeah, I got it in the basement, actually.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I mean, obviously, Howie didn't just hand it to you, so how the hell did you get it?
So it's kind of a long story, but there's this guy, Leon Nash. He's this old family friend of Howie's who's kind of stuck up here the same way I am, or was. Howie buried him for some reason I never actually heard. He's a little old man, overly friendly, but he's been buying me groceries and stuff, so he's cool with me. We kind of became friends, I guess. Anyway, after I left, Howie needed to put my brain somewhere close to me, somewhere you wouldn't find it, and Beam's tech wouldn't detect the signals sent to and from. So he gave it to Nash, and after we got chummy, Nash gave it to me.
Shit. That's lucky. Does Howie know?
I assume he does. He knows everything, right?
I shrugged. Used to. You'd be surprised how much he's changed the last 2 years. Actually, shit. I promised him we'd come back and kill him today. I forgot all about it.
Sounds fun. And in fairness, you can't blame yourself for forgetting I was kind of distracting you.
Right. Hard to remember anything during all that.
Yeah. Anyway, here.
And she grouped over to me, touched my shoulder, grouped us both into the basement. It was a little startling, the first time I'd been grouped in a long while, but then comforting that it felt perfectly natural, like she barely spared a thought pulling it off. Right back in it.
There it is.
She nodded to her brain as we walked over to it.
Turns out it totally takes care of itself. Energy, everything. I don't even need to plug it in.
You sure it's yours? I asked, fulfilling the Ava tendency to assume any good fortune was a Howie trap.
Yeah, I can fix it. I don't know how, I kind of know it's me. I can't describe it, not well, anyway.
Cool, works for me. I'm not gonna doubt your sixth sense. We'll throw it back in the brain chamber for now, at least nobody will touch it down there. You wanna group us?
I can't group my own brain, dipshit.
She scoffed. How I missed her affectionate pet names. Oh, right, duh. You wanna fly then? I offered reluctantly, basically knowing the answer already.
You fly.
She insisted predictably. Charlie always hated flying.
I'll meet you there. I need to make sure Nash knows I left anyway.
Hey, can I meet him? It seems like the guy kept you alive, plus he gave you your brain. I'd love to shake his hand. She looked momentarily stunned, then shook her head before I could question it.
Probably not the best idea. He's, let's just say he's constantly on edge and easily overwhelmed, and he's old as fuck. I don't want to give him a heart attack. I'll introduce you eventually, I promise.
Sure, I shrugged, still too elated with life to worry about minor disappointments. No worries. I snatched Charlie's brain off the ground and carried it back up the steps with her following closely behind. We went out the door together before I lifted myself and her brain up into the sky. See you in a bit, love. I called down to her from 30 feet up, and she smiled sheepishly, unfolding her arms to flash me a thumbs up. It felt so amazing that I actually would see her again. In only a bit. I flew more slowly and cautiously back to the capital than I had flown away from it. There was no rush, no urgency in this trip, but besides that, I didn't really understand the mechanics of brains in jars, and I didn't want to slosh it around and mess things up. It might have taken me 15 minutes to get to Charlie. Taking her brain back home was closer to an hour and a half. By the time I landed in the courtyard of HQ, it was late in the evening, and the building was largely empty, which probably suited my purposes better anyway. I strolled through the barren lobby, whistling a carefree tune, into the elevator, hovering the apparatus behind me, and rode down to the dungeon. As I walked past the first cell of Row 1, recently reoccupied after the election upon Sydney's request, I made brief eye contact with Micah Single, doing push-ups. I smiled to him and nodded as he rolled his eyes and scowled at my cheeriness. Even his repugnant mug couldn't damper my good mood. If I had Leper's ability to regenerate, I'd take advantage of it for demonstrative purposes. Like, for example, I would totally do things like roll my eyes literally out of the socket, just to emphasize my exasperated disgust. Or maybe facepalm right through my forehead and shatter my skull just to prove a point. Made me chuckle on my way to the oubliette thinking about it. There I was alone in that second elevator with a brain as my only company, laughing about Leper punching himself in the face. I couldn't wait to share this stupid observation with Charlie and Sydney at the next triumvirate meeting. Oh my god, there was going to be another triumvirate meeting. There was a triumvirate again. In 1 day's time, I'd transitioned from a world in which nothing made me happy to one in which every little thing did. With her alive, it was easy. All was exactly as it ought to be, exactly how I wanted it. And it wasn't even until I arrived at the brain chamber door that I again remembered Maria. And my stomach churned when I did. Not everything was perfect, not for her, not yet. Or hell, maybe never. I didn't know how she would respond to the news. Obviously, some part of her would be happy that Charlie was alive, separate from whatever it meant for us, and truthfully, she just admitted to me 2 days ago that she wasn't sure we should be married at all. Maybe it would be a relief to her having such a convenient exit, but no, that was wishful thinking, satisfying my own guilty conscience. I knew I had one terrible conversation standing between me and real happiness, one beautiful heart. The heart of a girl I, in some way, loved that I had to break before things really began to heal. I resolved that moment to stop being so damn happy. At least to try. Until Maria knew the truth. I stepped into the brain chamber, shoved aside the empty decoy, and replaced it with the real one. And once I'd set it up and stood back for a second with my hands on my hips, admiring the glorious display and waiting for Charlie to group in, a thick forearm unexpectedly flung itself around my neck from behind and dragged me backward into the shadows. Before I could respond with anything more than a gagging yelp, Sydney tossed me into the wall behind us and slammed his palm into my chest, knocking the wind out of me as he drew his face within inches of mine. He took 2 or 3 sniffs with his nose, checking my breath for traces of alcohol, then snarled at me.
Of course, this is the room in which you eventually turn up.
I tried to offer my meek explanation, but I still couldn't quite catch my breath.
Where in the hell have you been? I called you 1,000 times. You do not get to disappear for over a day without telling me or Maria or Murphy where you are going.
Sid, Prophet knew.
Do not lie to me, Jaxon. I asked him, and he told me he did not. Do you have any idea how scared I was that you had done something destructive, hurt yourself, or relaxed?
Buddy, I had a pretty good excuse.
I do not care what your excuse is. You are a recovering addict on suicide watch, and as such, you need to tell people where and for how long you are going to...
Sydney?
Her voice was quiet, scarcely above a whisper, probably because she was trying not to laugh at me, but still, it cut him short instantly. For a few seconds, he just froze, pressing me against the wall, staring right through me, mouth agape, head spinning, wondering if his ears were just betraying him. Finally, he looked up to me with such an odd, exhausted expression of hope in his yellow eyes that all I could do was laugh, tip my head and smirk in an I told you so kind of way. He finally let me slide down the wall and spun around to face her, excitedly grinning at him. Sydney took a step backward as he covered his mouth with both hands, shaking like a wet kitten, all 7 feet and 1,000 pounds of him.
Charlie. It cannot be. Is it a mirage? Is it real?
It's for real, Big Purple, it's me. It's...
She lowered her head for a second, then picked it right back up, smiling broadly with tears now welling on her eyelids.
It's your Charlie.
Oh, my Charlie. It is my Charlie.
He breathed, so profoundly emotional, so relieved, as he determinedly strode up to her and wrapped her in a bear hug, spinning in circles, crying without a single twinge of shame. When he stopped facing me, I watched the inspiring display for just a moment, then recalled something important from earlier that day. I waved my arms, caught his attention, and pointed at the palm of my hand, then tapped it against the back of my head. He cocked an eyebrow at me before unsurely and slowly wrapping his own hand around the back of her head. I could see her shoulders heave and her neck dip as she sobbed into his chest, and her embrace around him pulled a little tighter. He glanced back up at me with a befuddled smirk, apparently unfamiliar with the concept of a head-palming hug, in spite of the fact that he was famous for it, and I shrugged as sweet tears of joy ran over his cheeks.
I have missed you so much, my dear, that it made my heart sick.
I know the feeling.
She said without lifting her head. Good excuse, right? I sheepishly interjected myself into their reunion.
Great excuse, brother. It is a miracle.
He proclaimed, rocking from side to side, refusing to lessen his grip in the slightest. Seconds ago, I promised I wouldn't be happy until I talked to my wife, but watching my two closest friends together, it was impossible to keep that promise. I had to be a little happy, but I don't think anyone would blame me for this one.
How?
Sydney asked bluntly, rubbing his palms across his eyes once he finally released her. She was never dead, I said, saving Charlie the torture of explaining how she left us behind, sparing her the sight of Sydney looking at her the way he once looked at me. But we never could have found her. Prophet told her he'd kill us all violently if she didn't pretend to die and keep the secret for 2 years.
Actually, he wasn't going to kill you. He was planning on keeping you around and making me watch him hurt you for all of eternity. He gave me all the gory details, and then he told me if I just hid for 2 years, we could avoid it.
Malevolent, wicked fucking ass.
Sydney growled, clenching his jaw and both fists. It was the first time I'd ever heard him use that kind of language, that angry.
Who knows?
Just us. The three of us in this room plus Prophet, that's all. He quickly grew very excited.
Well, surely we should tell everyone else. We must share the good news. Murphy, Maria,
Suddenly, Sydney realized the thorniness of the situation. He stared at me in wide-eyed horror, then bluntly articulated the question I couldn't answer. The reason we weren't quite to the place we were 2 years ago, the one big roadblock left.
Jaxon, you have not told Maria.
I slightly shook my head.
Have you thought about... how are you going to tell her?
I honestly have no idea, Sid.
What's the issue? Just say Charlie's alive, Howie's a dick. Tell her the same way you just told Sid, the same way you tell everyone else.
But it's patently not the same for her as for everyone else.
Why the hell not?
Charlie, she's going to know. The second I tell her you're alive, she'll know exactly what it means.
How the fuck is she gonna know that? I don't even know what it means.
I do.
JT, come on. After 2 years apart, it's only been a day.
And I know exactly what it means, and Maria will too.
You love her, right?
Yeah, of course.
Then you should be with her.
Not even an option.
Jaxon.
Who wins in that scenario, Charlie? She's in love with the man she knows is in love with someone else. I'm married to her, but would rather be with you. And you'd be all right just watching us go home together every night?
I'd get over it.
I wouldn't. Never. Hell, the first guy you had after me, I'd kill him, then probably myself. Sydney shuffled and coughed uneasily, and I realized how close to home it struck, given my tendencies over the last 2 years, how adamantly he'd been trying to stop me. Not a good topic to joke about. I shot him a friendly, contrite smile to confirm it was just a figure of speech. He returned a worried nod.
You're really an asshole. Do you know that?
Sure, I've been told that a lot since you've been gone, and I feel like one.
You shouldn't have fucking married her if you were going to do this.
There was nothing in the entire universe that could have made me do this short of you being resurrected, Charlie. Hell, she wouldn't have married me if she knew there was any outside chance that you were still alive.
Damn it.
She grabbed her head, locks spilling between her fingers like she was just now being struck with the concerns I kept forgetting to fret over all day.
What the fuck is wrong with us? We shouldn't have done last night. Not before we told her. She's my friend. She's your wife. It's so fucked up.
No, we shouldn't have. It was the best night of my life, but I regrettably agreed with her. That was, we did wrong by her. I think we can probably just blame it on pent-up passion, right? You can't really blame us for that. Sydney nervously, awkwardly wrung his hands as Charlie shook her head.
She deserves better than this bullshit.
Absolutely, yes. She absolutely deserves 100,000 times better. And so do you. So did you. Look, we can assess the blame to each other all we want, but we only got there because of one person. It all boils down to him, just like always.
Motherfucking Howard Prophet.
Yeah. Motherfucking Howard Prophet. We were in silence for a moment as Charlie folded her arms and leaned against her brain. I fell into a squat against the wall, crossing my arms at the wrist over my knees, and Sid stared at the ground, scratching the back of his neck. He spoke first.
If there were some way to give him a fraction of the pain he has caused us, I would not hesitate to do it, practically regardless of the cost.
That was when I suddenly remembered the other bit of exciting news I'd received yesterday. There totally is. Prophet can't contain me anymore. I jumped to my feet, and Sydney shot me a mistrusting glance.
He cannot?
Nope.
You are certain?
I beat the hell out of him yesterday. We should go right now. Storm the castle. Charlie, ungroup the receiver thing on your brain so he can't shut you off. Hurry.
I did that already months ago.
Perfect. I'm free. You're free. We can protect Sydney long enough to...
He's definitely got something else on me, JT. The oubliette sixing blocker is probably still around somewhere, and he straight up told me 2 years ago he had other methods to contain me.
Then I'll just go in first. Hold him still, up in the air, so he can't call anybody or push any mysterious buttons. You two join after I have him stuck. We'll go from there.
You're sure it's for real? Like his control of you is actually gone. No power for good.
I'm pretty sure, Charlie.
Because remember when he turns it off for a hot second and he baited you into rubbing your nuts on his face and then he tossed you out the window? You're sure he's not just doing that? Bluffing you into thinking you can kill him so he gets us all in one place at one time?
He told me it was gone for good.
He told you I was gone for good. Howie tends to lie, JT.
Yeah, but I slapped him in the face. I choked him. I dared him to fight me. I told him I was going to kill him. I shot him. I put a bullet as close to the inside of his head as I could get it. And the only reason it didn't kill him was because I stopped it, not him. Besides, it's Prophet. He's way too proud to just let me have all that leeway for the sake of a bluff. He would have stopped me if he could have. She adamantly denied my appeal.
Not convinced. He could let you do all of that just to coax you into his trap and give you false confidence. I felt safe in front of Howie many times before, then watched him pull the chair. We know he can't disable my brain, but who knows what else he can do to me, and he claims he can't control you, but he could totally be lying. You don't fuck with a guy like him without putting on at least 4 condoms. We got 2 half condoms, and you want to scotch tape them together and hope he's not ovulating?
I have very much missed your poetic imagery.
What's he coaxing me into? Why does it matter if we're all there at once or not? I attempted to poke holes in her conspiracy theory. If he wanted to kill me, and he was capable of killing me, he could have just killed me 2 days ago instead of letting me kick his ass.
Unless he's testing us to see if we're too timid to fight back again, to see if we learned our lesson. He's done that before, too.
But what's the point of the bluff? I already fought back. I already proved to him that I didn't learn my lesson. I shot him in the face. I blatantly declared to him he had no hold over me and that I was going to kill him. If he was testing my loyalty, how much more obviously could I fail that test? He would have killed me if his goal was to kill me. Instead, he did nothing. He cowered and whimpered. She hesitated, which I took as a cue that I was convincing her of something she wanted to be convinced of. Besides, I don't know about you two, but even if he still has my number, I don't think he could make up a torture worse than what I've done to myself the last 2 years.
I am convinced. If his intent was to kill us for rebelling, waiting until he had all three of us at once would only triple the chance of failure. I vote we assume Jaxon is correct and ambush Howard Prophet before he adapts.
Seconded. Charlie? We both looked at her as she scrunched up her mouth. We're not doing anything without you. Never again. Veto now, I'll drop it forever. She started to bite her thumb, paced back and forth a few times, then quietly spoke.
You really think it's gone? His power over you, I mean.
I do. Trust me, Charlie, he was petrified.
Last time I trusted you when I didn't want to, Tyler Foon killed both of us.
And we got through that too. Just like everything and always. We've seen it all, love. We've seen it all. We're still standing. What could he possibly do to us that we haven't already overcome before? She closed her gorgeous, entrancing eyes, shaking her head so fast her locks whipped over her face.
But see, and maybe that's my whole issue. Even if we're finally in the advantage, I'm sick of overcoming Jaxon. I just want it to stop. I just want to ignore Howie. I want to break Caraway's heart and run away with you guys for however long the universe allows us to stay hidden. I don't want to take any risks. No risk. Just go. We have an opportunity right now together to leave and never look back. I just feel like we're asking for complications by not bolting.
Where's the justice in bolting?
So I'm the wrong person to direct your appeal to justice toward?
How about revenge then? How about your hatred?
I can get over my hatred. And I don't need revenge, Jaxon. I don't. I just need you. All I need is you. Aren't you tired of literally everything else?
Only one thing mattered. So long ago, I used the same logic on her to deny her appeal for little moral victories, attempting to fight back in the name of justice or revenge or whatever. Now that I was on the receiving end, I realized how powerful it was, the very concept. The whole universe could hang in Prophet's noose, so long as we were all together, safe and free. It was just poetic enough to sway me, if only momentarily.
Charlie, Jaxon,
Sydney, who had remained mostly quiet throughout our debate as he tended to, humbly expressed himself just as I was about to back down.
I am sorry to be this person. I am sorry to inject myself into your quarrel. I try so hard to never get involved or be selfish, but I feel as though I must make a case for what I believe in. Please forgive me for being so forceful, but I would be remiss if I did not make my wills known.
Sid, of course. Absolutely, but say what you need to.
And don't apologize about it. You're just as much in this as we are.
He smiled, took a deep breath, then spoke.
You say that all you care about is each other.
Oh, come on. Don't be... You're part of each other. I meant to include you, Sydney, obviously.
No, of course. I did not mean to insinuate you were excluding me. I assumed that I was implied. Do not worry. I know that I am part of each other.
Okay, good. Keep going, men.
It is just... I wish that I could say the same. I feel like a monster that I cannot. I wish that I could simplify my whims to such a pleasant, attainable, and simple goal as life with you two, alone and safe and free. But for as beautiful as this dream is, I need a little something more than just you. I need somebody to... No, not somebody. Howie. Howie needs to pay for everything that happened. I just need him to. For all of the people whom he made us kill, for all of the innocent anomalies, for Enzo Skelton and Tyler Foon and even Micah Single, even my father, even the names that ring with the vaguest of familiarity or relevance now, like Rick Fisher, Lindsay Flair, Trevor Long, for Clifton Hodge, for Phil and Maria and Murphy and the Equalizers, Lane Rector, Cal Sparks, Mike Mathis, Rico Vasquez, the failsafe, the baby that he tortured to keep us in line, and my little sister. So many were screwed, by him, my friends. So many of the people I love and loved. Hell, the two of you, everything that matters most to me, were absolutely wrecked. And why? All of it. Why? For his own ambitions? No, it is simply not right. You, I, and the rest of them were just objects, left in his wake as he plowed toward his desires, his quest for power. He fulfilled that quest. He succeeded, and it makes me furious. All of these people, these helpless, innocent victims, they need somebody to make it better. Not good, not okay, just better than this. Better than him using us all and then dancing away scot-free to global domination. The fact is, they cannot do it alone. They cannot fight for themselves. They are all certainly powerless against him, but perhaps we are not. We might be able to make it better, and so we owe it to them, all of his victims, even those who may have deserved what they got. We have a responsibility to them to finish the job. Again, I apologize for my petulant insistence, but I cannot be happy, not really, without that debt being settled.
It's important to you. That profit pays the piper. It's important to you, right?
Yes. I am sorry, but it really is.
And it's important to me.
Me too. I didn't hesitate. It's all you needed to say, man. After all you've done for me the last 2 years, hell, it's the least I can do.
Friends, I would go on my own, but I fear he would anticipate my arrival and remove the nitrogen from the room, leaving me rather defenseless. You both have some evidence of his hold being lessened, so I thought perhaps as a unit
Sydney,
we could...
shut up. It's decided, but we're getting him.
Simply because of me? My request?
Yes. We can't be happy if you can't be happy. Simple as that. We got a second shot at this thing, and I damn well am not settling for less than perfect on all sides. Let's get him.
Thank you, my friends. I love you both immensely.
Triumvirate intact, united and strong like nothing even happened. If there was any doubt before, there wasn't now. All Sydney had to do was ask us, and we would, without hesitating, take on this risk. Besides, deep down, I knew it wasn't even all that risky. Charlie didn't have to believe me. I could feel it just yesterday. I could read it in his eyes. He was powerless against me. Howie cowering and pleading for his life was a sensation and a sight I could easily get used to. And how on top of all of that, kicking his ass would at least distract me from talking to Maria for just a little bit longer.
Thank you for listening to The Beam Chronicles, a fiction podcast written and produced by me, MJ Dooney. You can follow the show on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and Twitter. If you want to email me, beamchronicles@gmail.com, and if you want to help me out, 5 stars on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. You can also send me monetary support if you're so inclined. Buy me at coffee.com/beamchroniv, that's BEAMCHRONIV, or just click the support the show link in the description. All music and sound effects were sourced from the Epidemic Sound Library. Special thanks to Sergio Duarte for creating the cover art for the show, and thanks again for listening.